Yeah, I know what y'all gonna say. Rick, what the fuck is that by the side of your lip? Bitch, shut up, man. It was a razor bump, all right? Fuck y'all. Or is it a razor bump or is it ass eating? I don't know. Shut up. Y'all better be nice in the comment section, man. Anyway, let's start this video.
Yeah. Wake up, fuck your bitch before I pay.
What is going on, y'all? It's your boy 3MG. We are back with another video. Now, I want to talk about the whole Joe Budden situation. I actually wanted to talk about it yesterday. I did watch DJ Academics' live stream on Twitch, and I got some shit I want to say about it because I understand the whole shit. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think Joe should have seen that this was coming or should have been aware from day one. Possibly, I mean, you guys can answer this below. Do you think Joe should have even taken this opportunity? Me personally, I'm glad he did because this became one of my favorite hip-hop podcast shows on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Him and DJ Ac. I got to give credit to DJ Academics as well because some people, they ride that little shit like, nah, fuck him. We could do better with that. Be honest with you, both of their personalities together in that show made the show fun as fuck to watch. So I really enjoyed it. There was never no real violence between them two. It was really just part of the show. Both of their personalities, they got at each other. Joe, of course, is a little crazy, but we fuck with him. But let's talk about it. So basically, Joe gave this whole timeline about some of the things that he started witnessing as he signed his contract with Complex. Now, I'm gonna just say right off the top, I knew he was, I'm surprised he lasted this long. But a lot of people believe that he was going to fuck up his chances, meaning, and also in combination, leave on his own. Whereas in this case, kind of shocks me more, and then again, it doesn't. Like, I have to be both sides with this one because you got to remember, this is a corporate fucking company backing this show. Basically, Joe and, you know, his area, well, I guess his personality and what he brought to the table, you can't pull certain stunts off because it's still being backed behind a big corporate business, which is Verizon. This is where I understand Joe. He was talking about all the, you know, the contract and the stipulations, the restrictions, all the stuff that's related to this contract, and how in today's generation you can kind of like breach into it. You know, you can kind of toggle a little bit of it and try to add some extra stuff. So I mean, if there's some extra incentives, some more money, I guess some sponsorship opportunities, you know, they'd be like, whatever, man, scratch this. We're gonna definitely pay you out for your services. And of course, because of your services and what you brought to the table, we were able to actually earn more revenue due to this company contacting us and that company contacting us. Where it went wrong to Joe was because as he was endorsing in all these different opportunities, him and DJ Academics weren't getting paid for it. That, in my opinion, I feel bad. Yeah, that is fucked up because you're taking somebody, a YouTube personality, you're taking somebody who was real deep into the rap game, you put them together, which they got huge audiences. I mean, DJ Ac had a bigger audience, and you guys wouldn't basically share some of that extra revenue or that extra opportunity share to them. That's kind of fucked up. And who benefited from this was all the people who worked at Complex, or even probably in the desk, I think he said as well. That's where I feel like is a big problem because you show up to work, you give your thoughts, possibly get fucked up after work or even at the end of the week because, like I said, you have these two personalities here where they spoke that real raw shit, which I love the most, even though some of them were biased on certain topics, but they just spoke straight up shit for the most part, where it could have possibly got them into some shit. We seen this shit with Joe Budden. We seen shit with DJ Ac, people confronting them, people wanting to speak to them. A lot of shit could have happened. So for them to bring that over here with their services, instead of them losing views and losing value, they actually gained more of it. They just didn't get any incentives or any extra alternatives to that, like any package deals or nothing. So I understand that. One thing I will say is Joe preached to all these independent artists or artists who've been fucked over in the past, because he admitted to being fucked over in the contract, that you should go the independent route. Don't fucking worry about labels. Don't worry about this. Yet you took yourself and signed a contract branding yourself with a company like Complex. Now, I understand his focal point was it's a hip hop show, and maybe he didn't know how successful this was going to be, but it ended up turning around and a lot of people enjoy the show. And once again, how you not know that the way you're acting is going to probably cause a lot of attention, negative attention to these companies? Well, it was going to happen sooner or later. You were going to have people tell you can't say this, you can't say trash, you can't do this, that, and the third, simply because it could possibly fuck up any future, you know, partnership deals or any opportunities in the future for interviews and whatnot. Now, he was given one thing, and later on you notice they started transitioning over. I feel like the biggest issue with this whole shit is the lack of communication, lack of meeting, where they came together and really was like, listen, we're getting tons of money, we're getting tons of views, we're getting tons of this, that, and the third. We want to open up this contract and we want to feed you guys more opportunities and get you guys paid. That's really what Joe's having a problem with. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't think he addressed it, but I don't know if he went up to people speaking to them like, yo, are we going to get a share of this? Yo, we should open up this contract or get a meeting started. I mean, if you are that type of person, you should have went ahead and proceeded on with that process. So I think that's where maybe it kind of went off. Another thing too, where I actually feel like it was extremely unprofessional. He said towards the end term of the contract, he had to always think like what was going to happen. Once again, him and DJ Academics brought so much attention to that particular show. You only assume they will continue writing it out next year with some bigger opening or some bigger changes. Not the fact that they were going to tell him through an email or whatnot that we don't really need your services, your contract is up, unless you want to come here and get paid dog shit. That's basically what the email was referring to and what it really meant. And of course, Joe Budden stands behind his shit, and he's like, nah, I ain't going for that shit. That's it, I'm done then. So it was a little bit unprofessional how that kind of worked, because throughout this whole process, even though it was like a year contract, they should have, or, you know, kind of came together, whether if it was Joe's fault or the whole company or both of them collectively, they should have came together and spoke on it like, yo, where you want to be at next year? Are you trying to continue this with us? Well, we're going to need you to do this. We're going to sign you up with this. I think that could have been a better, you know, transition or a better conversation, but it wasn't translated a certain way. And of course, we know Joe is prideful because he has his moments where he starts disrespecting the company. And once again, I love his personality and I love Academics' personality. I don't agree with some of the interviews where he just passed along on certain questions and certain things didn't happen a certain way, because you got to remember we're in a different time. Demographics are changing with artists and different people, what we enjoy to listen to and like who we like to watch. So you have to feel with the times. You got to fit in with the times, especially since you signed that contract. With that being said, I think that's where he kind of fucked up as well. But at the same time, you bring all these millions of clicks and views. I feel like some of these companies, and we all probably can agree to this, that some of these old heads, they don't understand the culture of how this music shit works. They don't understand that even though they hear them talking reckless and the lack of vocabulary coming from Joe or whatnot, or even though DJ Ack is making jokes and whatnot, possibly making a loss at having a certain artist show up, at the same time is bringing millions of views, which is going to cause so much attention. They became a credible source to where people want to hear what's happening in the hip hop realm, right, with these two guys. But these companies are looking at it like, nah, because that's a risk we have to take if we're going to allow Joe to say some reckless shit. And then if it's going to tarnish a part of our business, we don't want to take that chance. And actually, it turned around to be something extremely positive, but that was still something they didn't want to go ahead and take. But I mean, I hear what Joe was saying, and I honestly agree with like 80-90% of it. The other part of it is you could have just done this on yourself. You could have probably or possibly partnered up with some old hip hop heads. He did mention that he's going to talk to Puffy and some other people. You should have definitely went towards them to start something. Why would you even want to go to something like Complex? And I remember what he said. He wanted to invest more time, to where as he was investing his time, he was looking at how he can make this company more money. He's a business guy. Joe knows his business and shit. So he wanted to see how he can make them more money without understanding that you forgot how you are. And they're not going to fuck with you because of that later on. So even though you brought the money and brought them this, that, and the third, they still looked at it like we could possibly profit more without you. Well, we're gonna see what happens in 2018. But yeah, I can see what happened. That's the reason why he left, or why he's not showing up to everyday struggle. They don't understand really much of the culture, but at the same time, you signed a contract deal, so it's like half and half. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the comment section. Once again, I know a lot of people don't like Academics, but you got to give him his credit. At the end of the day, if you had a pussy person who never questioned Joe, the show would be kind of whack. It took Ack some time, but he built up that confidence to like really challenge Joe on a lot of shit. So I respect both of them for that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. So if you are new to the channel, subscribe. I'm out of here. It's your boy 3MG. You have a blessed one. Peace. Oh, yeah, I told you, the weather's cold, we're getting older. Things even change when it gets colder, but we'll move on just like a moment. The sun is sky.